Hello everyone, this is your educator Priyanka Thakur teaching you life sciences and welcome you all on our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. So today in this video I'm going to tell you about bacterial nutrition and you will also come to know about different culture media. And in the next lecture we will talk about bacterial growth. Okay, we will study about bacterial growth curve and everything and how to control bacterial growth. So we are going to cover all these things in our next lecture. Let's start with our today's topic, which is about bacterial nutrition. Before I start bacterial nutrition, let me tell you that nutrients, what are nutrients exactly? Nutrients are required for what? They are used for the biosynthesis and energy production, and they are required by and they are required for bacterial growth. If I'm talking about essential nutrients that are required by bacteria, so what are essential nutrients? Essential nutrients are those nutrients without these nutrients bacteria won't be able to survive. So there are macronutrients and some micronutrients. And for bacteria, the nutrients that fall into micro category are your like zinc, molybdenum, your nickel, copper, and I think cobalt also. Okay, and the nutrients which are essential for bacteria and fall into macro category are your obviously carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, your nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, and calcium and iron. If even for plant, if we are talking about, iron is required in a higher amount as compared to other micronutrients. Otherwise, if we talk about plants, it is included in micronutrients. But right now we are talking about bacteria, and for bacteria iron is required in large amounts, so it is a macronutrient for bacteria. Okay, in addition to the need for carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, all organisms require source of energy and electrons for the growth to be taken place. Okay, so on the basis of like your carbon source. Okay, so on the basis of carbon source, energy, hydrogen, and electrons. Okay, or electrons, these are the different types of bacteria. These are the different types of nutrition that occurs in bacteria, right? So first of all, see, if we talk about based on carbon source, so this one is based on what? Carbon source. What happens in this carbon requirement of bacteria? It must be met by carbon dioxide or any organic carbon. Okay, bacteria which will use carbon dioxide as a sole source of carbon for growth are called autotrophs. Fine, autotrophs which are using sole carbon dioxide for its biosynthesis. Okay, so these are autotrophs. And the bacteria which are actually using organic carbon, these are known as heterotrophs. Fine, reduce preformed organic molecules from other organism. They use carbon from the organic form. Okay, then comes your energy source. On the basis of energy source, these bacteria can be phototrophs or chemotrophs. Now what about phototrophs? We know that all the organisms require a source of energy, and bacteria also use light as their energy source. And if bacteria is using light energy as its energy source, so what we will say, they are phototrophs. So light is used as their energy source. And chemotrophs, so when they will known as chemotroph will obtain their energy by the oxidation of chemical compounds, and those chemical compounds will be either organic or inorganic chemical compounds. Then comes a classification on the basis of hydrogen or electron sources. See, lithotrophs, what are lithotrophs? These are they use reduced inorganic substances as their electron sources. We can see here they will use reduced inorganic molecules. And organotrophs, they will use electrons from their organic compound as their electron source. So on the basis of carbon source, energy, and hydrogen or electron sources, these bacteria are divided into different types. Major nutritional type of, we are going to talk about major nutritional type of microorganisms. See, they may be photolithotropic or autotropy, photolithoautotropy. So what happens in bacteria which are photoautolithotropic? They will use carbon dioxide as a source of carbon. They will use, they are photolithoautotropic. Definitely, their source of carbon is carbon dioxide. They are going to use light as a source of energy. Electrons are provided by inorganic hydrogen or some electron donor, but hydrogen must be inorganic. And the representative organics are algae, purple and green sulfur bacteria, and blue green bacteria. So we know about plants also undergo photosynthesis, okay. And what they use carbon dioxide, water molecules, and hydrogen act as electron donor, isn't it? Inorganic hydrogen will be used. Fine. After water splitting, you will get what? Four protons and four electrons. Along with that, oxygen will be released, right? Okay. Then comes your photoorganotropic heterotropy. Of photoorganotropic heterotropy, or we can also call them photoorganoheterotropy. Photoorganoheterotropic organism. Now they are heterotrophs, then definitely they are not going to use inorganic carbon source. They are using organic carbon source. Okay, carbon dioxide may be used, and source of energy will be light energy because they are phototropic, and source of electron will be, now there will be source of uh, your electrons. It will be organic hydrogen or any electron donor, but now hydrogen is organic. And representative organisms are your purple sulfur bacteria, your green sulfur non-sulfur, sorry, green non-sulfur and purple non-sulfur bacteria. They comes under the category of photoorganotropic bacteria. Then come chemolithotropic autotropy, or we also call it chemolithoautotropy. Okay, source of carbon is carbon dioxide, source of energy is chemical energy source of electron is inorganic hydrogen. Now remember this thing. For chemolithotropic, whenever you are saying lithotropic, the source of energy is inorganic hydrogen. And representative organism are sulfur oxidizing bacteria, hydrogen bacteria, or nitrifying bacteria. See, these are the inorganic electron donor. You can see NH3 is getting converted into nitrite. This is nitrite, but the process is your nitrification. These both reactions are nitrification. You remember carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle or not? In first, these are ammonia oxidizer, nitrosomonas europaea, and another bacteria is nitrococcus. You must have heard about it as well. Okay, nitrococcus. Then in the next step, this is nitrite is getting converted into nitrate. This is nitrite oxidizers are going to play its role. Nitrobacter is an important bacteria which is going to perform this reaction. Then your sulfur oxides will be formed. So sulfur oxidizers will be playing an important role. Thiobacillus thiooxidants, and if iron is getting oxidized, then thiobacillus ferrooxidants will be playing their roles. Then if water is being produced, hydrogen is getting oxidized, I mean water is being produced, alkaligens, eutrophs are performing their function, and then carbon monoxide is getting converted into carbon dioxide. So carboxylobacteria plays their important role. Pseudomonas, carboxyloworms play their important role. Okay, and in this is your chemoorganotropic heterotropy. Okay, chemoorganotropic heterotropy. What happens here? The source of carbon is an organic carbon source. Source of energy is a chemical energy source, which is organic again. Source of electron is organic hydrogen. Electron donor will be there, but it will be organic. And protozoa, fungi, and most non-photosynthetic bacteria show this type of nutrition, right? You can get all these images, like all this information from your Pathfinder as well. I strongly recommend you to go through your reference books to clear all your concepts. Okay, but for now I'm teaching you. You can enjoy the videos as well. Let's start now. That's all about bacterial nutrition. Now, let me tell you about culture media. For any bacterium, if you want to propagate a bacteria, like for any purpose, it is very necessary to provide a what? A proper biochemical and biophysical medium, isn't it? If you're growing any bacteria, isn't it really important to grow it in a proper biochemical and biophysical medium? Okay, a culture media, when we talk about culture media may be solid, and this culture medium can be liquid. So culture medium can be solid as well as liquid. What is the role of culture medium? Culture media is used to grow and transport microorganism. Okay, culture medium is known as grow, transport, and even store microorganisms, right? And now, depending upon special needs of particular bacteria, a very large variety and different types of culture media have been developed. These are used for different purposes and at different times as well. Culture media are employed in the isolation and maintenance of pure culture of any bacteria, and are also used for the identification of bacteria according to their biochemical and biophysical requirements. Fine. You will see a different kind of like if I'm talking about classification of bacteria. So first of all, I would like to talk about physical nature. So what will be the physical nature of bacteria? So you know that I just told you bacteria, not bacteria, but medium. So medium can be any liquid medium. It can be a semi-solid medium, or it can be a solid medium as well. Okay. So on the basis of physical nature, culture media will be solid, liquid, and semi-solid. If we talk about chemical composition, so on the basis of chemical composition, it will be synthetic or complex. Okay, on the basis of your chemical composition, it will be synthetic and complex. If I'm talking about functional, that on the basis of function, if I'm talking about functional aspect, then this culture media will be enriched, selective, and differential. Like it will be supportive, okay, enriched, even selective and differential. It will be selective as well as differential. Now I will talk about all these in detail. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you about any supplementary or minimal media. Our first thing that I'm telling you is your supplementary or minimal media. So supplementary and minimal media, name is indicating that what will be minimal media and what will be supplementary media. So let me tell you first about your supplementary medium. When I'm talking about, no, before telling about supplementary medium, I'll tell you about minimal medium. So what exactly is medium? Minimal medium, it will contain the minimum nutrients. It will contain the minimum nutrients. It means minimum amount of nutrients that is required for the growth of bacteria. Okay, it will contain minimum nutrients that are required for the growth of bacteria. It means on this is the minimum amount on which bacteria can grow. Okay, of course other nutrients are required, but this is a minimum amount of nutrient in which bacteria will grow, and they will definitely require they will definitely this medium definitely contain a carbon source. Okay, this medium will definitely have a carbon source, and that carbon source, it can be any sugar, or it can be any inorganic salt. Okay, it can be a sugar or it can be any inorganic salt. You get it? Sugar can be glucose sugar, right? It can be glucose. Now what is supplementary? Supplementary is then a type of your minimal media. Supplementary medium is a type of minimal medium. Okay, supplementary medium is a type of minimal medium, but it will contain a single selected agent. It will contain a single selected agent. Fine. Which is usually which may be like your amino acid, or any sugar, and it will be used for culturing specific oxotrop. It is used for culturing specific oxotrop. What? Specific oxotrops, right? And now, question of the day: what are oxotrops? If you don't know the answer, do comment in the comment section, and I'll let you know about what are oxotrops. Okay, so this is your supplementary and minimal medium. Now let me tell you about synthetic. Second type will be synthetic on the basis of chemical nature, synthetic and complex media. Now what are synthetic and complex media? Synthetic medium is chemically defined medium. Okay, chemically defined medium, it means you know about the chemical composition of your synthetic medium. Fine, if you're talking okay, but your complex medium is your undefined medium. Okay, it is not defined medium, it is undefined medium. It means you don't know about the chemical composition of your complex medium. Okay, for example, for complex media you must have known the tryptic soy broth. Okay, tryptic soy broth. Okay, this is an example of your complex media, right? And then your McConkey agar, another name is McConkey, it's only C, Conkey agar. And there's another one named nutrient broth. Okay, so all these are the example of your complex media. Okay, you can form synthetic medium by the known composition of your chemicals. Okay, so this is synthetic and complex media. Now let me tell you about enriched media. What exactly is enriched media? When I'm talking about enriched media, what is enriched media? uh, as I know, you can get some idea by the name as well. This medium will contain some component that permits the growth of some specific types of bacteria. Okay, so enriched medium, it will have the components which are going to support, which will support a specific group of bacteria. Understand? Enriched medium, group of bacteria, right? They those bacteria, they can alone utilize the component from their environment. However, an enriched medium may also have selected features. Blood agar, if I'm talking about blood agar, example of this enriched medium is your blood agar. Okay, blood agar, it is an enriched medium because it encourages the growth of many fastidious microbes. Okay, blood agar, it is an example of enriched media. Okay, enriched medium will contain some component that will going to permit the growth of only specific types of specific types of bacteria, specific types of species of bacteria, and other, because only they will be able to utilize that source and not the other one, right? Now let me tell you about differential, your selective. First I will tell you. Fourth one is your selective media. Now what is selective media? Again, I'm telling you that you can get some idea from the name itself. It is selective medium. It contains components which will inhibit the growth of some bacteria while uh, promote the growth of some bacteria. So such a medium supports the growth of some bacteria while it can even inhibit the growth of other bacteria, right? If you want to take some examples, then crystal violet, crystal violet, and your bile salts, they promote the growth of gram negative bacteria. Okay, they will promote the growth of gram negative bacteria, right? You understand it or not? Definitely. Then what are they going to do? They are going to inhibit the growth of gram-positive bacteria. Right or wrong? Right, ma'am? On the other hand, your eosin, methylene, and your blue agar, they will support gram positive and inhibit gram negative. Understand? Clear? Fine or not fine? These are all are, I won't say they will support, but they are all used in methylene blue, McConkie, you just got to know. All these are what? All these are example of selective media, right? Okay, now I'm going to tell you about differential media. Next one is your differential media. I'm not going to talk in detail about it because I know you already know. If you want me to talk about this media in detail, definitely I will. So this media will allow the investigator, it allows the investigator to do what? It allows the investigator to differentiate different types of bacteria, right? To differentiate different types of bacteria. Okay, understand or not? Understand, ma'am. Definitely. Why won't you? For example, your blood agar. You must have heard about blood agar. If not, then fine. It is an example of differential media and it will help to distinguish hemolytic and non-hemolytic bacteria. It helps to distinguish hemolytic and non-hemolytic bacteria. Okay, your methylene blue, McConkie agar, mannitol salt, again all these are the example of your what? These are example of your differential media. Understand? Okay, fine. And last one is your pure culture. Last one is your pure culture. What is pure culture? Pure culture is one, it will contain only single kind of microbial population. Okay, it will contain or it will support only one kind of microbial population. Understand or not? It will support only one kind of microbial population and not other. Actually, it is not difficult to isolate pure culture. Pure culture, it is derived from, it itself is derived from mixed culture. You can't say that pure culture is directly prepared. It is derived from mixed culture. Fine? Okay. Like that mixed culture will have many species. It is separated by the method that separate the individual cells so that when they multiply, each will form an individual distinct colony, which may then be used to establish new culture with the assurance that only one type of organism will be present. Pure culture, they may be easily isolated if the growth medium of original mixed culture, if it favors the growth of organism over the others. Like if this is the mixed culture, okay, mixed culture, but it allows growth of a type of bacteria, like I have put into A and B into it. See, okay, but it allows the growth of a type of bacteria only, so it can be easily isolated. This pure culture can be easily isolated from mixed culture if like your culture media, mixed culture media is allowing the growth of one type of bacteria. That's all for today. In the next lecture, we will come to know about bacterial growth. But if you want to take the subscription of Unacademy, then you can. If you are preparing for CSIR net, then you can take the subscription of Unacademy. Here is the detail of paid classes on your screens. Still, you can get 10% off by using the referral code NEHA, which is the referral code of Neha Taneja ma'am. Go there on Unacademy and follow her. But just do not forget to subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, and do join us on Telegram. But if you want to join us anywhere else, like on Facebook or even on a Telegram channel, then you have the link in the description box. You can click on those links. On a single click, you will be there with us. You can contact on the given number. That's all for today. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.